and welcome back to the Dice Tower's coverage of the GAMA Trade Show 2017. I'm Eric Summerer, here with Jason and Scott from Flying Frog Productions. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
We have a bunch of stuff to look at, so we should just jump right in with a Derelict Ship expansion.
Yeah, so this is a lot of cool, crazy new stuff for Shadows of Brimstone. This one here is a brand new Otherworld set, which is the Derelict Ship. And basically, your cowboys and banditos and saloon girls find a portal that lead not to an alien world itself, but to a starship that is hurtling through interstellar space and is kind of adrift.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? So all sorts of great sci-fi themes get worked in there with the map tiles. You've got like hydroponics bays that are, circular overgrown with, because they've been going for who knows how long without any sort of interference. You've got like the medical bay that has, of course, the blood-stained beds and all the things you find in a good sci-fi horror.
Sure.
The engine room with the big Darkstone engine drive there. Lots of fun map tiles that have things like teleportation pads.
And of course, the back of these have a whole new set of map tiles for the mines.
Yeah.
So it always increases.
So it increases
your collection of Old West stuff as well.
Yeah, the variation.
Derelict Ship / more mines.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And these are the miniatures that come with it. There's 3 new enemy groups, including these zombie astronauts that we call Necronauts.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's basically the remnants of the crew that are still shambling around the halls.
Reminds me of a Doctor Who episode I've seen.
Yeah. And these right here are these large beacon drones.
They're basically the navigators on the ship, and they've got biological components to help them hook into the systems of the ship. But because they've been exposed to all this radiation and Darkstone, they've actually gone completely insane.
Oh, good.
And so now they're crazy robots that will
try to kill you.
And try to kill you. Yeah.
Insane cyborgs are always fun.
And lastly, these are auto turrets, and these are natural defense systems of the ship, because of course your cowboys are seen as intruders. And so the ship itself is trying to kill you as well.
Oh boy.
And there's just a lot of fun new mechanics, things that you would expect in a sci-fi genre.
Yep.
Like hull breaches that actually pull, can rip open to the side of the ship and pull you down the hull. There's the gravity plating might be malfunctioning, and suddenly you find yourself sort of floating and having to pull yourselves along the walls to get anywhere.
And besides that, of course, we have a host of new items you can get, which everything from energy blasters to gravity boots, or even an entire spacesuit that your cowboys can wear.
Yep.
So
I love how it still has the sort of pseudo-Western border, so it fits with other additions and expansions, but it's all spacesuits.
But you can get a nice souvenir from the tech future.
So how soon will we see the Derelict Ship expansion?
So the Derelict Ship is slated to be released in May.
Okay.
So it's just a couple months off.
Just around the corner.
All right, what else we got?
All right. So next we're going to talk about 2 mission packs. And these are new expansions for, I guess I'll show the camera here, and then we'll put them down to show the above camera here. So these are the first 2 of our mission packs, and a mission pack is an expansion that includes new enemies, but also does a deeper dive into kind of the theme of that enemy. So you can play entire kind of campaign adventures in that theme.
Yeah, it's kind of just a deep dive into that new enemy group, and they have a series of missions in them that you can play. There's 4 missions in each of the mission packs, and a new objective room map tile that's double-sided. So for instance, for the vampires, you can see it's this vampire nest with all the coffins, and then the backside is a generalized otherworld kind of lost tomb. But I mean, there's a lot
we just lost a token.
Just lost a bitten marker.
I just got bit.
Bitten by a vampire. So that's actually one of the really fun things in the vampire mission pack is your heroes can actually get bitten by vampires while fighting, because that's obviously the most dangerous thing that you can do when you're fighting vampires, and slowly start turning into a vampire hero. And so as you become more and more vampiric, you basically get faster, stronger, tougher, but you start going crazy. Very fast, in fact. And, and you're not allowed to go to the church anymore or use any holy items anymore, because, of course, that's the the antithesis of a vampire. Exactly, it burns. It burns. And then the Hellfire Succubi are basically demons that have taken on a human-like form to try and coerce humans they run into and be kind of alluring. They, of course, have their own objective room map tile, which is this Caverns of Cinder summoning room, and then on the back side it's actually got a new map tile for the Caverns of Cinder Otherworld, the throne room. which is pretty cool. And the Hellfire Succubi are interesting because they're one of the most vicious enemies we've introduced to the game yet.
Okay.
And they are femme fatales. So previously, everything in the game has been very focused on making it that you could play either gender of hero. It doesn't matter. They've got just a different portrait.
Right.
And sometimes a kind of a superficial different name, you know, the preacher or the nun. They have the same stats and abilities, but they just have a slightly different theme to them. With the Hellfire Succubi, they actually have their femme fatales ability that gives them a bonus when fighting male heroes and a different bonus when fighting female heroes.
Okay.
So basically, male heroes are sort of allured by them and can't get critical hits against them.
Okay.
So you have a tougher time fighting them.
Yeah.
And female heroes do not suffer that issue, but instead, the Hellfire Succubi lash out more viciously at them because they're not susceptible to their feminine wiles, as it were. So
this isn't working. I'm going to hit you harder.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun to work that into things. Another thing that's pretty cool, that's part of that sort of deep dive in the mission pack, is that the new enemies actually have an adventure card for playing Hellfire Succubi themed adventures, which means that you can take any mission that's already out there and overlay the Hellfire Succubi theme onto them. And that means that when you run into enemies, there's a chance that it'll be Hellfire Succubi. When you get encounter cards, there's a chance there will be an extra Hellfire Succubi themed encounter in addition to the regular encounters. And so there's actually a deck of encounters that have the little Hellfire Succubi icon, and that way it feels like you're playing not just an escape mission where you're trapped in the mine and trying to get out. It's actually you're trapped in the mine and there's Hellfire Succubi closing in all around and you're trying to get out. So it's kind of a cool way to put a spin on existing missions as well. Right. And so that's each of the mission packs has that sort of set of cards to let you do that. Another thing that's kind of cool is the Hellfire Succubi have shadow magic that they can cast. Okay. And so some of the more powerful ones, like the Hellfire Witch, which is like a leader of the Succubi, has shadow magic spells that you can cast, which has its own deck of cards and whatnot. Something that all mission packs are going to have as well are these trait cards. And basically, because when you're playing a vampire-themed mission, for instance, or a Hellfire Succubi-themed mission, you're going to be fighting a lot of that enemy type. As a way to make it more interesting each time you run into them, we've got these trait cards that basically modify the behaviors. And so sometimes when you run into Hellfire Succubi, you'll draw one of these traits, and they won't be normal Hellfire Succubi, they'll be charred. And so that gives them a different behavior. More angry. Yeah, they're more angry because they're charred, or maybe they're a Belian Coven, or they've got a magma kiss. They'll try to... That sounds pleasant. Or they're pit dwellers. And so each of those basically has some sort of bonus that they get, sometimes a negative, sometimes it changes their behavior. So, for instance, with the vampires, there's one which is light sensitive, which is kind of cool, where they get negatives when they're too close to the old lantern that the heroes are carrying. And so the lantern bearer can go up and get close to them to lower their defense. But their behavior changes in that they prioritize targeting the lantern bearer over everybody else. Let's make that go away. They're trying to lash out at the lantern bearer. And so it really changes how they play based on the trait that they have.
Wow. So we've been seeing a lot of really cool minis for these guys. Yeah. There's one you've been keeping off to the side.
It's true. It's true.
That I feel like we've been building up to.
Yeah. So this is actually a preview. It's not yet on the release schedule, but we thought we'd bring it to give you guys a super sneak peek. And that is the Ancient One. And so this guy is probably our biggest model that we've made yet. As you can see, he definitely has that unspeakable horror vibe to him there.
How big is the box that's going to fit that guy in there?
It's pretty sizable and pretty deep because he's a big multi-frame kit for you to put together. Although he does go together pretty easy. And you can see the detail on the tentacles and the sword. Wow. And he's just a massive ancient beast that you don't really...
And he's a good guy, right? He fights for you guys?
If you're into to evil, he's a good guy.
If you're into evil.
If you're into evil, you'll love the Ancient One.
So yes, what is this called that we're...
So this is the last thing that we're going to talk about. Yeah. And shockingly, it has been 10 years since we came out with our first game, Last Night on Earth. It's still extremely popular today, and to celebrate the 10-year anniversary, we're going to do a deluxe edition that's a limited edition kind of deluxe version that we're going to come out with this fall. And so we're not showing it yet. We don't have a prototype version put together, but we wanted to announce it here at the show. And at the same time, we're going to release a new expansion for Last Night on Earth that is Hero Pack 2, featuring 4 new heroes.
Has been long awaited. The first Hero Pack for Last Night on Earth came out probably around 6 years ago, and so we got a Mission Pack 2 that everybody's been sort of clamoring for years, and that's going hand in hand with the 10-year anniversary edition.
So the deluxe edition, do you want to hit them with a couple bullet points of the things that will be in it?
Sure. So it kind of is a slightly tricked out version of the original Last Night on Earth. So it has the classic 8 heroes. It also has 4 new heroes included in the box that are playable hero versions of some of the townsfolk that were just represented by cards in the original game.
So it used to be that they were allies, and now all of a sudden you can play as Doc Brody, you know, or these different townsfolk.
So I think people will have a lot of fun with that. And then it also has plastic pieces for some of the counters, and it's got like a plastic truck to escape in the truck in, and a lot of things that just sort of pimp out your game for people that have been playing for Last Night on Earth for a long time and want a super deluxe version.
Very quickly, because we have to go, but are you using the classic photograph artwork, or are you are you redoing some of that?
So we're using the classic photographic artwork, but we actually have new photos that are from the same era that are on new cards as well. So it's going to have new scenes that are with the same characters and some of those townsfolk hero characters that people have never seen before.
Awesome.
That'll be on.
We're going back to the vault.
Going back to the vault. From the same set of sessions from the original game.
Same photo shoots and whatnot. Yeah. So everything is going to match up perfectly.
Very cool. Thank you, gentlemen, from Flying Frog Productions. A whole slate of interesting things to look at. This guy's going to give me nightmares. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.